Welcome back to the channel. The weather has decided to get a little bit colder but a little bit drier, which is pretty awesome. So today is probably one of the last chances I'll get to be in the camp before I head home. So a few different bits that I need to do today. It's going to be all about pine. So I need to harvest some lovely pine for my paddle that I'm going to make. I'm going to show you a little cooking sort of setup that from Finland originally. I'm going to make some tea from pine. I'm also going to collect some other bits of pine to get some tar, but it all come clear. Yesterday I managed to get out, there was about a 20-minute break in the weather, so I went to my local hazel spot and I made my saw up. I'm very happy with it. Went a lot better than I expected. So, bit of hazel, nice saw blade, ready to tackle some dead pine. This tree here, if you look at its proximity, okay, if it fell it wouldn't quite fall where I was sleeping, but it's definitely on its way. It's completely dead, but for the sake of today, its roots are just coming out. I'm going to leave it, and then hopefully when I get back from Christmas, if it's still stood there, great. It means it'll be dryish still, and if it's come down after Christmas, that's all right. This tree that I've been taking wood off anyway, I'm going to get down to the far end of it, and I'm going to cut myself a section off. It took a while, but I've just cut through a tree with a saw I made. How amazing is that? So happy. Did come undone once, the saw, but that's all right. That's, you know, that's me. It's my first saw I've made. I wouldn't expect it to be perfect straight away. But yeah, let's go and have an inspect of this wood. I've written this lower end of the tree off here, or the top of the tree off, because it's a lot thinner. It's a lot closer to the ground, so it's managed to soak up a lot more water. So there's my original cut there that you saw me do, and then I've just cut just over there another section, and I've had a feel between, and this end is very, very moist. This end, very dry. I'm just going to make a joke there, but let's not. So what I'll do is I'm going to trim this section off of all these. Whoa, there's my finger. All of these little branches at the bottom, and then see if I can lift it. If I can lift it, I'll take it up there. If I can't lift it, I'll split it down here. So I brought the log up from down there to here. My camp's just up there, but as you might hear from my breath, it's pretty hard work. It's quite heavy. So I'm looking through the log now, and I've had a look on the other side. I'm looking at what the best way to split it now is. So by that I mean which side's going to be different. So the tree, or trees in general, grow very, very different depending on which side is facing the sun. I wouldn't be able to tell you which side was facing the sun here, but what we can see is we've got a knot here in the middle, obviously centre here, and then looking down the side, on this side here we've got quite a few branches coming out, and the same on this side's not quite so bad. But what I think I'm going to do is attempt to split it sort of middle this way. And the way I'm going to split it is, first of all, using this bit of birch that I collected the other day, make some wedges, because obviously I've only got that small axe there, so make some wedges. The idea is you make a split with the axe, and then you can drive the wedges in and try and prise the wood open. That's the theory anyway. Let's see how it works. So again, I'm going to use my little block as my sort of workstation. So, great thing about bushcrafters, or working in the woods, if you've not got a tool, you can make one quite easily. There's loads of ways to do it. So when you take your time with bushcraft or with any work, there's no point rushing it, so I'm using all the saw blade. So you're looking for maximum gain from minimal effort. So the next step now to split some wood down is using my axe. I'm going to get a bit of a point on it. So as you can see, when I'm doing this, my hand's staying at the top, so there's absolutely no risk of me hitting myself. Also, I'm far enough away from my leg so that if I do miss the block for any reason, the axe will just hit the ground. It's not going to hit me. I try and be safe sometimes. The next thing you're going to do is get rid of some of the stuff from the top just so I can see my work a bit easier. The way I'm going to do this, one of the wedges that I've made, I'm going to use it as an improvised scud. This process is called scudding, and it's like where you might clear the bark or clear basically all the rubbish off the top of your wood, like when you have a good shower. That log had a massive rotten bit. As soon as I split the first section, right in the centre of it, it was rotten. So, plan B, a really thin tree here that is dead, that again is going to fall right on top of the camp, so I'm going to get rid of it. The first thing we're going to do is cut a notch out here and then saw in from the back of there. So what this does, it creates sort of a hinge. So we knock all of this out until probably about quarter, maybe half the way ish, and then start cutting, and as soon as it starts creaking, push it, and it should be the key word, should sort of work. So that's about a quarter of the way through. So the next job is from sort of there. I'm going to saw. If I had a bigger axe that would do it in a couple of hits, I'd hit twice and it'd hinge that way. But right, let's go find somewhere nice for the camera to capture this. It might look pretty good on the camera. I can't believe you almost missed this. So what I've done is I've cut through and my saw blade got stuck. So I moved the bow out of the way and using one of the wedges that I made before, hitting it into the tree. So let's hope to God now I don't miss this. I literally just came to check the camera to check that it had thingy before I did the final few blows. But that wedge, I'll hit that in and hopefully the tree will land pretty good there. Let's, as you can tell in my voice, I'm a little bit out of breath, but I'm also a bit too excited. So this is the first tree, especially this size, that I've ever brought down. So I've tried the wedges, I've opened it up a little bit. I'm just going to try and get through that last little bit with the saw that I've repaired, and hopefully you'll see it, because this is definitely it now. Definitely. So you can see from looking at that now, I know exactly what my mistake was. 100% know what my mistake was. The hinge wasn't anywhere near steep enough and should have brought it a lot further in, but you live and learn. Having just seen the time, I might have to have an excuse to come out tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be raining like mad. What I'll do is I'll set up a tarp to work under. So plan for today is I'm still going to process this up and cut it, but I am going to get a coffee on and show you that, and then we'll be back out tomorrow to start the paddle properly. But yeah, one failed attempt already. Tree was a pain in the ass to bring down, but well, in coffee in a second. I'll get this cut, get a section cut to make me little oven hob thing that I'm going to make you. And then, yeah, happy days. I love being out in the woods, it's great. So, what's my idea? I did something right. Oh, smell the dry resiny goodness. Oh, I'm going to make a sick paddle, so excited. Right, definitely coffee, but I had to share with you. Bone dry, picked the right tree. It's going to split. It's not very knotty, even though everyone loves knotty wood, but it's not very knotty. Listen to that. Oh, I'm going to make a paddle. So excited, if you can't tell. Right guys, let me get a stove on the go. I keep saying it, but oh, I'm so happy. See this out. One of the things I've made here, it's a fire torch. So this is what I'm going to cook. So basically I've split a log into quarters and then shoved it full of those things. Because it's been so damp the past few days, I am using cotton wool to start it. But then the kettle just sits on top and hopefully it'll light and make me a brew. Very rare I use cotton wool, but it's just been so wet. It's actually a bit ridiculous how wet it's been. It's almost like it's Scotland in autumn. So I've tied this together where I've split the logs, tied it together with some of the cord that I made the other week. So it's all natural apart from the cotton wool. You win some, you lose some, eh? This sort of cooking method is really good when it's really windy or wet, because you can split right into the dry bit of the wood. So what I'll do now is I'll pop my kettle on and I'll go continue and listen out for the whistle. Hopefully it'll work. If not, bring all of the bits of the tree that I'm processing up here under the shade. So all the bits that I'm going to use to make stuff, keep it nice and dry. Brews on the go. I reckon I can get one more in before I get. Because the wood's nice and dry, it's nice and light, so it's just uphill, that's why I'm out of breath. See just how well this is working. I've had to prop one side up there, but the kettle is just about to boil. And Swedish fire torch, it's actually from Finland. Complete. You have no idea how happy I am that 2 things I have tried today have worked first time. Swedish fire torch that's actually from Finland. Finding a dead tree that's fully dry inside. Well earned coffee. And then I've got a few more logs to bring up and put under cover. Leave it here for today, and then tomorrow come back out. No matter what the weather, I'll make a camp up, and I'll definitely start the process of making a paddle. Good morning and welcome back. Day 2 of piney madness. I didn't sleep very well last night. It's election night, and for the first time in my life I was properly worried about what was going to happen, and you know, as expected, Tories are in, but I'm not going to get political about that. But yeah, so it's 7:30. I've not really slept, so I came up to the woods early. I've had my first morning coffee, fire's going. I find the morning, if I've had a stressful night, or you know, if I've not feeling the best, the mornings for me are the most magical time in the forests, and seeing the shadows become shapes and the shapes become things in the distance, and the hills behind us, which I'll show you later, are covered in snow, and it's just really is one of the most magical times of the day when you're in the camp. Sweden update. Spoke to baby Ewan briefly. September, it's going to happen. I'm going to book a ferry, or actually I'm not going to book a ferry. I'm going to wait out and see what Mr. Johnson does for us first before I book a ferry. It might be easy just to fly, but I end up going to the Gransford Brooks factory, which would be amazing. A few rivers and big lakes, that'd be really cool. So yeah, all is well. Well, all is well in the woods anyway. So yeah, once the light gets a bit better, I'll start doing stuff. But finish my coffee, maybe have another coffee. We brought some eggs up, might have an egg butty. But yeah, should be good. Griddle pan, crap for frying eggs. Probably should have known that, but oh well, eggs egg in it, as long as it's sort of warm through and not raw. And then I've got 2 lovely morning Scottish baps. You can't even see that because of the approaching. Absolutely stunning morning. You've got the sheepdogs down the road, you can hear barking, but it's so still and peaceful, and just love it. So you might just be able to see it here. This is the top of the tree that I felled yesterday. The first job for me is going to get all of these branches off with the axe and trim the tree up. So I've just got the bare sort of trunk, but I'll stack all that other stuff in a row and then show you what's going on. But I'll get on with trimming that and then I'll get to the interesting bit. So that's the top half of this tree trimmed off. Now I'm just going to cut it into logs, and then again, there's no point me filming this because you've seen loads of pictures of me cutting, but I'm going to put it into sort of roughly 30cm logs. Obviously it's thick at this end, thin at that side, so it shouldn't take too long. And I'll get all the logs up to the camp. I'll also explain why I've left so much stumps, but it's all for good reason. Happy days. It is now, that's all weird. It is now getting towards 8:30, 8:45, and it's actual daylight. So I'll show you in a second the logs, but basically what I've done now is I've cut that tree down, and I'm going to process all the little bits before I go on to my When I've gone to the effort of chopping a tree down, whether it be dead, alive or whatever, or processing it, I try and use as much of the thing that I've sort of cut down as possible. So that's not just the wood. On the bigger piece I'll try and get some bark off to make some containers and stuff, but also we've got this stuff and it's abundant in the British forests. So this is a type of lichen, and this is called old man's beard, alright, because it looks a bit like a beard. It's all wiry and fluffy. Right. So I'm going to collect as much of this as I can, and it's part of the Anactora family of lichen. If I pronounce that right, I probably haven't, it's not my fault, I'm northern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect as much of this as I can. Why, you may be thinking? Well, it's got 2 useful things. If it's dried out, so I'm going to put it into one of these Hessian Lidl bags and hang it up while I'm at home in the caravan, so that when I get back it should be nice and dry. It's got 2 sort of purposes. When it's dried, it's great for tinder for lighting fires, a bit like I use the birch bark for, so it'd be nice to use something different. Other thing it's great for is you can collect it up, boil it up, and it's anti-fungicidal, so it's great for like things like when you've got wet, bogging, horrible feet. It's great for like treating things like trench foot, athlete's foot, general cleanliness. So yeah, it's very useful. I'm going to collect all of the stuff off all these big branches here, and then I'm going to collect it off the littler branches that I'm going to make the kindling out of. But I'll crack on with that. I'll show you how much we find. So that's all the top of the tree that's I've split down. Next task for me is I'm going to make some hardwood wedges, because that birch wedges that I was using yesterday were alright, but these will be better. So using a bit of the wood that I collected the other week, I'm just going to trim it down on each side, and then we can split up the big logs. I've decided that rather than today trying to rush out and make a canoe paddle and mess it up, because I am really tired, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the wood into blocks, into like blanks almost. So I'm going to make some blanks for knives and bowl stuff, and canoe paddle blanks, and then take them all and store them inside and take them away with me, mainly as well because I could start the carving process with the axe, but my draw knife and crook knife are at home, so so I couldn't finish it, and it'd be more annoying to start and not be able to finish. So what I'll do is I'll just going to process a load of wood today, maybe finish up at about lunchtime and go and get the video from last week uploaded. So right, I'll get these processed up. I say processed a lot recently, but you know, makes sense to me. Righto, wedges made. I'm gonna have a brew, and then I'm gonna split some wood. First log I'm gonna use, as you can see, it's already got the startings of a split. So I'll show you it from the end on. So what I'm going to do here is get a wedge in there. It's going to be really hard to film this, but I'll do it stage by stage. I'm going to get a wedge in here, get it open, and then the idea is you work the wedges along the log. So it's starting to creak now, you can really hear it going. I'd use my axe just because it's a bit sharp point. So if I hit the axe in the end, you can hear it. Now you can see how the splits come all the way around here. So I'll keep working on it, keep splitting it open. So I've definitely learned some lessons. It was quite hard. Ray Mears makes it look very easy, but I've split it, and I'm going to try again with a different log, and hopefully be a bit more successful. So I managed to break my other mallet, so I made myself a heavy duty mallet and 6 wedges. So let's go give it another go. I'm still keeping these. I'm gonna make something out of them, but let's see if we can be more successful in the next split. So first wedge in, I've already managed to split all the way through. So I'm gonna get a big wedge in at the end, hit it in, and then start working down side by side. Now we're talking. One each side, splitting nicely. So I move the wedges down, that opens up the end. Hammer the end one in a bit more. That'll ding dang do for me. There we go, so that's split now. Just need to get the axe in there and get it cleared out, and it should clean in half. Happy days. And so far, as well as paint the planks, I've cut some wood Swedish fire logs, a couple of people for Christmas presents, because I've always wanted them. I've got this that I'm going to make into a seat. These I'm just going to saw down into manageable sizes. They're going to be for like spoon and bowl carving and all of that stuff. And then I've got final 2 things I'm going to show you, and then yeah, it's 12:30 now. It's not got long left of light, but I need to sleep. So yeah, I'll get this seat made. Step to the seat is mark out, so this is going to be 2 seats. So I got between there, cut and that cut, bit of an armrest, then cut and cut. Next step from here is I'm going to cut loads of little slits along here. I've cut between 1 and 3 centimetres, basically gaps, and then using the hatchet here, all I'm going to do is chip away at it. So you see how it's coming along here. I'm making a sensible decision. My hand's not very good, and I'm tired and I keep slipping with the axe. So I'm going to be sensible. I'm going to finish this either tomorrow or after Christmas, and I'm going to quickly start doing some resin collecting and then pack away. I've got a beautiful festive tin thing, and I'm going to fill it with resin like we've got here. This is for a present I'm making, so I'm going to make some like candle melt things. So I'm going to mix this with some beeswax, and then it should melt really nicely over a tea light, and it smelled gorgeous. So it's been pretty successful. Managed to split logs down. I've processed a lot of wood, collected pine resin, collected old man's beard. So yeah, I've got a lot of things ready to start making things, but I'm definitely going to sort of not reveal 100% how to make stuff straight away. So I'll leave this video here, and yeah, so like when I make a paddle and stuff, that'll stay as a separate sort of little series. Making the beeswax and pine resin candle melt things, that'll be separate. And just yeah, just because I'm away, so I'm going to split things down and make more videos, hopefully. Do let me know whether you'd rather me do these vloggy type videos, or whether you'd rather me do like, oh, this is how you do this, or try this. This is pretty cool sort of videos, because I'm not sure what I'm doing, if I'm honest. So yeah, thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe and all that other YouTubey nonsense, and I will see you again soon, hopefully more awake.